Imagine this. Your ex doesn't just break your heart, she shatters your entire life. Leaks your deepest therapy secrets online. Costs you your job, your friends, everything. And she's laughing about it with her new guy. But what if I told you I turned the tables? Made her beg for mercy without ever saying a word? This is my story, raw, real, and revenge like you've never heard. If you've ever been betrayed, hit play now and stay till the end. You won't believe the twist that destroyed her world. Subscribe to Bitter Counter-Strike for more karma wins. Let's dive in before I lose my nerve. Hey, I'm Alex. Back in 2024, I was just your average guy trying to make it in the big city, 28 years old, a software engineer hustling at this up-and-coming startup in New York. The days were long, the code was endless, but it felt like I was building something real, you know? That's when I met Sophia. God, she was something else. This total firecracker in marketing, sharp as a tack, with this infectious laugh that could light up the dingiest conference room. We met at a networking event in Midtown, one of those awkward mixers where everyone's pretending to love small talk. But not her. She cornered me by the cheese platter, teased me about my terrible tie, and just like that, we were talking for hours. Exchanged numbers and boom, it was on. 2 years flew by in a blur of pure magic. Late-night drives along the Pacific Coast Highway during those weekend escapes to her family's place in California. Wait, no, we started in New York, but yeah, those road trips became our thing. Her head on my shoulder as the sun dipped into the ocean. Windows down, wind in our hair, talking about everything and nothing. Dreams of starting our own thing someday, maybe a tech marketing hybrid company. Inside jokes that no one else got, like calling bad code Sophia's revenge, after she roasted my first buggy app. I thought she was the one, man. The kind of love that makes you believe in forever. Little did I know, forever had an expiration date. But life has a way of sneaking up on you, doesn't it? Work stress hit like a freight train that fall. A massive project deadline loomed, bugs everywhere, clients breathing down my neck. I was barely sleeping, snapping at everyone. One night, it boiled over. Something stupid, really. She texts me at midnight. Where are you? Miss you. I'm buried in code, reply late, half-assed. She calls, I let it go to voicemail. Next morning, she's at my door, eyes flashing. You're not the guy I fell for anymore, Alex. This distance? It's killing us. I tried to explain, but she was done. It's over. A breakup text at 2 a.m., cold as ice. No screaming match, no dramatic goodbye. Just gone. The silence after that? Deafening. I was gutted, hollowed out like a pumpkin on Halloween. Spent days replaying every moment, wondering where I went wrong. That's when I turned to therapy for the first time in my life. Never thought I'd be that guy, but desperation makes you try anything. Found this online platform, started emailing my therapist, Dr. Ellis, this no-nonsense woman who didn't sugarcoat. I poured it all out. The abandonment issues from my dad bailing when I was 8, leaving me and mom to scrape by in that tiny Queens apartment. The way it wired me to cling too hard in relationships, terrified of being left again. Insecurities about not being enough. The late nights doubting if I deserved someone like Sophia. Stuff so raw I could barely type it without shaking. But it felt like healing, you know? Like finally airing out the skeletons in my closet. Those emails were my safe space, locked behind passwords, meant for no one else's eyes. A week later, exactly 7 days after the breakup, my world imploded. It's 7 a.m., I'm groggy, reaching for coffee when my phone starts vibrating off the nightstand. Notifications exploding like fireworks on the 4th of July. Texts from numbers I don't know, emails piling up, X alerts screaming. I open the app and there it is. Some anonymous account at Sophia exposed. Yeah, real subtle, dropping screenshots. My emails. My goddamn therapy notes ripped straight from my soul. Alex. Weak, daddy issues, total loser material who'll never commit. Hashtags everywhere. Hashtag exposed therapy fail. Hashtag breakup burn. Hashtag red flags unleashed. Is going viral in real time. 50K views in hours, climbing fast. Trolls swarming like locusts. Go cry in therapy, bro. Oh wait, we already read it. Daddy's boy can't handle a real woman. My stomach drops while rising. How? But deep down I knew. I stumble into work that morning, shirt half-tucked, eyes bloodshot. The office buzzes with whispers, colleagues glancing away, pretending to type. My boss calls me in, face like stone. HR's there too, this stern woman with a clipboard. This is toxic, Alex. Clients are forwarding these posts. It's damaging the brand. You're out, effective immediately. Fired. On the spot. Pink slip thrust into my hand like a death sentence. I walk out into the sweltering New York summer heat, the concrete jungle closing in, world spinning like I'm drunk. Friends? Instant ghost. One text, dude, is this real? Kinda wild. Then radio silence, blocks piling up. Family calls pour in, my mom's voice cracking over the line from Jersey. Son, what happened? Talk to me. But what could I say? The shame burned too hot. Me, I'm drowning in it all. Can't eat, food tastes like ash. Can't sleep, nightmares of those words echoing. Staring at the ceiling till dawn, replaying every betrayal. Why, Sophia? We had something real, didn't we? Or was I just fooling myself the whole time? That night, something inside me cracks. Not breaks, but shifts. A spark in the darkness. I grab my phone, hands trembling, download a burner app to unblock her without a trace. Scroll through incognito, heart pounding. There she is, smiling ear to ear with some new guy, Ryan. Caption hits like a slap. New beginnings, no baggage. Beach pics from the Hamptons, all sun-kissed and glowy, her arm looped through his. He's this polished finance type, sharp jaw, designer watch, the works. Rage bubbles up through the hurt, hot and viscous. I whispered to the empty room, you think you're free? Watch me unravel it all. But what could I really do? Post back and look desperate? No. That's when the idea hits, dig. Use what I know, my tech skills. Start small but methodical. And trust me, what I found next, it would change everything. The kind of dirt that turns victims into victors. Stick around, you won't see it coming, I promise. Days start blurring into weeks, each one heavier than the last. I'm a ghost haunting my own cramped Brooklyn apartment. Takeout boxes stacking like Jenga towers on the kitchen counter, blinds drawn tight against the relentless city glare. Depression doesn't creep in, it crashes like a tidal wave pulling me under. Mornings? Forget it. Alarm blares, but my body's lead, limbs too heavy to lift. I lie there, staring at the water stain on the ceiling that looks like a screaming face, bargaining with myself. Just 5 more minutes. Then 10. Then the whole damn day gone. The leak's metastasized now. It's not just X. It's Reddit threads dissecting my pathetic confessions, TikToks mocking therapy bros, even a podcast episode titled X's Revenge, when secrets go viral. Job interviews? They tank before the handshake. Recruiters smile through Zoom, then email later. We saw the posts, cultural mismatch. Yeah, right. Because my pain, my private hell is a mismatch? It's like wearing a scarlet letter etched in pixels. Friends? The ones I thought were ride or die, the crew from college who'd crash on my couch after bar nights. They fade faster than fog in traffic. Group chat, once blowing up with memes and plans, goes eerily quiet. Invites to trivia nights or Knicks games. Crickets. One guy, Jake, pulls me aside over coffee, or tries to. Can't risk the drama, man. People talk. Then he blocks me on everything like I'm contagious. Even my sister Lena, back in Philly, stops calling after a few strained check-ins. It's too heavy right now, Alex. I love you, but give me space. Space. That's all I have now, too much of it. Alone doesn't even scratch the surface. It's existential erasure, like the universe hit Control+Z on Alex and forgot to save. Therapy? Ah, the irony. I log in once, fingers hovering over new session. But those notes are out there now, memed into oblivion, twisted into punchlines. What's the point of whispering secrets when the world's already shouted them? I start spiraling deeper. Was I really that broken from the start? Did I deserve this digital stoning? Nights bleed into questions that claw at my sanity. If vulnerability is a crime, what's the sentence? And the nights? Pure torture. 3 a.m. witching hour when the city's hum turns sinister. I'm glued to my phone, scrolling X incognito mode, VPN shielding me like a flimsy cloak. Sophia's out there thriving, posting like nothing happened. New job at this swanky fintech firm in the Flatiron District. She's the star now, leading ethical marketing workshops, preaching data privacy like a gospel. Protect your digital soul, she captions one slide deck share. The irony sears, her resume, her glow up, built on the ashes of my exposure. And Ryan? This slick finance VP with a perpetual smirk, all bespoke suits and crypto bro vibes in her stories. They're the picture of couple goals. Candlelit dinners at Nobu, weekend escapes to the Catskills, her tagging him in my rock posts. She looks happier than ever, radiant, untouchable. It twists the knife deeper with every swipe. She torched my world to fuel this fairy tale? How does she sleep at night, knowing she weaponized my lowest moments? One particularly brutal evening, after polishing off a bottle of cheap whiskey to numb the edges, I lose it. The rage surges, unfiltered. I hurl my phone against the wall. It shatters on impact, screen spiderwebbing, shards scattering like broken promises. Blood trickles from a gash on my palm where glass bites in, but the pain? It's clarifying. Stings just enough to cut through the fog. I bandage it sloppily, slump at my desk, and that's when the switch flips. No more playing the victim, curled in the fetal position. Time to fight back, claw my way out. I boot up my laptop, the familiar hum a lifeline. Old engineer habits die hard. VPN layers on, anonymous browsing mode engaged, incognito everything. Start simple, surgical. Trace that at Sophia exposed handle back to its roots. Pull metadata from the screenshots, timestamps, device IDs. It's sloppy work on her end, amateur hour, link straight to her old personal email, the one we shared Netflix logins on. From there, it's a breadcrumb trail to her new profiles, scrubbed but not spotless. Ryan's too, LinkedIn goldmine Insta breadcrumbs. But as I burrow deeper into his digital footprint, cross-referencing posts, emails, geolocks, oh man, the red flags erupt like landmines in a field. Inconsistencies everywhere, shadows lurking. What if her perfect rebound, this knight in shining armor, is hiding skeletons dirtier than what she buried me with? Hang on tight. The hunt's ramping up, and the explosive dirt I unearth next? It's the detonator that blows her empire sky high. Okay, deep breath. Let's level with you. I'm no black hat hacker slinging viruses in a basement lair, but coding's been my jam since I was a kid tinkering with BASIC on my grandpa's old Commodore. Those skills? They come in clutch now. I fire up my toolkit. Open source awesome frameworks first, stuff like reconning for recon, then graph analyzers like Maltego to map connections. It's like digital detective work, piecing a puzzle from pixels. Start with the basics, methodical. Geolocate those leak posts. EXIF data in the images, pins them to a cozy Brooklyn cafe she used to drag me to, the one with the overpriced lattes and fairy lights. From there, cross-reference Ryan's LinkedIn profile. VP of Investments at the exact same fintech powerhouse where Sophia just snagged a plum marketing director gig. Cozy doesn't cover it. It's practically a workplace romance HR wet dream or nightmare. She's out there now, keynoting at conferences, all protect your data, own your narrative. TED-style talks on privacy in the age of leaks. While her entire career pivot, built on the ruins of my very public humiliation. The hypocrisy? It fuels me. I go deeper, no sleep, Red Bull 4-drip style. Scrape his socials methodically. Insta stories from glitzy office parties, her tagged in the background, all champagne flutes and forced laughs. But patterns glitch, late night check-ins at boutique hotels in Chelsea that don't sync with their posted romantic date nights at home-cooked Italian spots. I run IP traces on his geotagged posts, cross-check with public Wi-Fi logs, multiple devices pinging from the same seedy midtown spots, patterns screaming side action over fidelity. Paranoia? Hell yeah at first. My brain's screaming, confirmation bias, Alex, you're projecting. But nah, the data doesn't lie. I need ironclad proof though, something that sticks. That's when memory jogs. Nora. Our old mutual friend from Sophia's college days at NYU, her roommate back then, my low-key confidant during those early double dates. Nora's always been the straight shooter, the one who called out BS without flinching. I craft a burner email on Proton Mail, ghost mode full throttle. Nora, it's Alex. Deep undercover here. Need some intel on Sophia's new chapter. No drama, no blowback, just a bit of closure to stop the bleeding. It sits in outbox for hours, thumb hovering over send, vulnerability again, risky. But I hit it. She bites after a tense day of radio silence. Old loyalty runs deep, I guess, or pity. Her reply pings late. Alex? Holy crap. She's head over heels for Ryan like Pinterest board levels. But listen, rumors swirling. Girl code, but you sound wrecked. Whispers paint him as a serial player, charming his way through boardrooms and bedrooms. Cheats on everyone, ghosts when the heat's on, she types, blunt as ever. Sophia's blind, rose-colored glasses on tight. My heart jackhammers, this could be the chink in their armor. I push gently. Proof? Anything solid? She waffles. I shouldn't. Then caves, zips over files in an encrypted drop. Screenshots of Ryan's text to an ex-flame, flirty as hell. Overlapping hotel bookings from apps like Booking.com. Timestamps clashing with Sophia's solo self-care weekends. And the kicker? Those texts. Sent during office hours from company Wi-Fi. Straight-up policy Armageddon, fraternization taboos, ethics clauses shredded. I'm pacing my dim room like a caged wolf. Laptop screen the sole beacon in the gloom, casting blue shadows on the walls. This isn't just garden variety dirt anymore. It's a nuclear-grade weapon forged in the fires of her betrayal. Sophia leaked my ethics, my soul. Now hers dangles exposed, ripe for the fall. But revenge? It's not some sloppy public spectacle that drags me down too. No Twitter rants, no petty clapbacks. That'd make me the villain in her narrative. Nah, I want something smarter. Colder. Precision strike. Do I go full nuclear, blast it all over the net and watch the mob turn? Risk looking like the bitter ex? Or play the long game, ghost in the machine? Wait till you hear the plan I hatched in the dead of night. It's the kind of revenge that strikes silent, leaves no fingerprints, and strands her utterly, achingly alone. You won't believe how it unfolds. Nora's files hit like a jackpot in a dive bar, pure, unfiltered gold mine. I unzip them in the witching hour, eyes widening at the trove. Ryan's text to this side chick, some ambitious office junior with a LinkedIn bio screaming rising star. Messages dripping sleaze. Sophia's clueless as ever, meet me after hours, same spot. Heart emojis, fire ones, even voice notes husky with promise. And visuals? A blurry selfie from the dimly lit bar of a NoHo hotel, timestamp 10:47 p.m., the exact weekend Sophia's curating her feed with empowering solo spa day reels, all green juices and gratitude journals. Nora follows up with a hushed call on Signal. He's textbook, Alex, done this in every relationship I've seen him in. Charms, cheats, ghosts when cornered. Sophia? She's gushing soulmate vibes in group chats, totally blind. Deserves better, but karma? Her words hang, validating the venom. The hypocrisy? It eviscerates me anew. Sophia, queen of privacy sermons, violated mine for spiteful sport. Now she's the unwitting fool, prancing in her own meticulously laid trap, oblivious to the jaws snapping shut. I map it out on a whiteboard in my head, or hell, a digital mind map in obsidian, nodes linking like a spiderweb. Ryan's affair? Shreds every HR rule in the book. Fraternization policies, conflict of interest clauses, the whole 9 yards on workplace integrity. Tie it neatly to Sophia's leak history. Those viral screenshots resurface in a quick reverse image search, painting her as the serial boundary crosser. Her shiny new gig? Toast, charred beyond salvage. But revenge isn't about sloppy, red-faced screaming matches in echo chambers. It's surgical, scalpel sharp. I spend the next 48 hours crafting the perfect venom. Anonymous email to their company's ethics hotline, that whistleblower portal buried in the footer of the corporate site. Subject line engineered for panic. Urgent. Leadership integrity risk, Sophia and Ryan, immediate action required. Attachments? Meticulously redacted proofs, texts blurred to protect the innocent, irony noted, but timestamps screaming conflict, hotel confirmations geotagged to office blocks. Body text? Clinical, detached. As a concerned insider with direct knowledge, this violates Policy 7.2 on professional conduct and data handling. Evidence attached. Act before it leaks, public reputation at stake. No trace of grudge, no you hurt me vibes, just pure, professional poison laced with urgency. Fingers hover over send for what feels like eternity, second thoughts crashing like waves. What if it backfires? What if she spins it on me? But nah. Click. Midnight dispatch. Heart thundering like a war drum in my chest. I can't sit still, pace to the window, watch taillights streak by on the street below. Refresh their profiles obsessively. X, LinkedIn, Insta, nothing at first, just the agonizing void. Dawn creeps in, gray and unforgiving, coffee going cold. Then, cracks appear. Sophia's X feed freezes. Last post timestamped 6:12 a.m., a cryptic story poll. Tough mornings? Ryan's LinkedIn? Bio update, on administrative leave, exploring opportunities. By noon, the internal chatter leaks through a Glassdoor forum I monitor under alias, anonymous posts exploding. Inquiry launched on exec team, drama alert. Boardroom freakout, suits scrambling. Sophia's hauled in first for the grilling. Her old leak skeletons rattle out of the closet, dusted off in the files. Boom, ethics double tap, no mercy. But the real gut trencher, the twist that twists the knife? Ryan flips like a weather vane in a gale. Pins the whole sordid mess on her instability, leaks their breakup text himself. Accidental? Please. Calculated, face safe, painting her as the unhinged one. Those messages? Fly public in hours, viral fodder. She's left dangling, holding the smoking gun solo. Fired by close of business. Career incinerated in a blaze of boardroom bylaws. I'm holed up in a nondescript cafe in Williamsburg that afternoon, anonymous as a shadow, nursing a black coffee that tastes like victory, bitter, bold. Watching it unfold in real time on my tablet, no victory dance, no fist pumps. Just this cold, settling satisfaction washing over me, like ice in my veins. She felt invincible, leaking my rawest edges. Now she's the one flayed open for the world, pixels piercing deeper than words. But was that the curtain call? The final bow? Oh no, friend, karma had one more vicious gut punch chambered, a parting shot that sealed her isolation in concrete. You have to hear this finale, it's the cherry on the revenge sundae. Next morning hits like a hangover from hell, or heaven depending on the lens. My burner pings relentlessly, Nora blowing it up with voice notes, her voice a mix of shock and schadenfreude. Alex, what the actual hell? Sophia's a total wreck, sobbing waterfalls in my DMs at 4 a.m. fired on the spot, then dumped in the same gut-wrenching breath. Ryan's already scrubbing their pics, posting cryptic stories with some new arm candy, blonde, basic, you know the type. I read it all stone-faced in my kitchen, toast untouched, no gloating grin cracking through. Just a quiet mutter to the empty air, karma's a bitch, huh? Who knew? She presses hard in the last note. This you? Be real, she mentioned your name in the meltdown. I ghost her clean, let the wonder fester, let the dots connect in her mind without confirmation. Silence is the sharpest blade. Sophia? She claws her way to my digital doorstep in desperation, unblocks me across platforms, drops a voice note that autoplay hell. Her voice, raw and ragged, sniffling through pleas. Alex, I messed up so bad. This isn't me, help me explain to HR? We can fix it like old times. The vulnerability in her tone? It echoes mine from those leaked emails, but twisted. I hit delete without a second's hesitation, block reinforced like Fort Knox. She's scrambling in the aftermath, LinkedIn profile floods with open to opportunities banners, networking pleas disguised as humble brags. But the blacklisted whispers? They spread like wildfire in the industry grapevine. Toxic leak history, ethics train wreck. Old colleagues who once fawned now distance like she's radioactive. Her carefully curated empowerment brand? Poison, toxic sludge now. Last whisper from Nora, a month in, she's couch surfing between friends who pity her, therapy bills stacking like Jenga. The girl who turned your pain into public sport? Begging for gigs at coffee shops, replaying her choices on loop in some dingy sublet. The mighty fallen? It's poetic in the cruelest way. Meh. That tip-off email was my exorcism. I pack a duffel that very week. New York's electric hum turned toxic hum, every corner a ghost of us. Head west to Seattle, chasing rain-slicked streets and fresh horizons. The move? Cathartic like shedding skin. Land a new gig in cybersecurity consulting. Yeah, the irony's thicker than fog rolling off the sound. Now I'm the guy teaching Fortune 500s how to lock down their leaks, fortify against the Sophias of the world. Bulletproofing digital vaults with firewalls and encryption sermons. Real friends trickle back slow, the loyal core, the ones who saw through the noise. Jake reemerges with a sheepish beer invite. Lena calls weekly, no more eggshells. No more hiding the scars. I wear them like badges now, stories swapped over IPAs. Yeah, that leak? It broke me, but look, Unbreakable edition. Therapy's back on track, 2 in person this time, with a Seattle shrink who gets the tech trauma angle. Progress inch by inch. That fire from the ashes? It didn't just warm me, it forged me into something sharper, unyielding. A few months post-move, the itch hits. Channel this chaos into something bigger. So I write, nights blurred with keystrokes, coffee-fueled marathons. An anonymous memoir, Shadows in the Cloud, Surviving Digital Betrayal. No real names, no direct drags, just the raw anatomy of a leak, the anatomy of revenge wrapped in thriller prose. Self-pub on Amazon last quarter, word of mouth ignites it. Climbing charts in true crime and self-help, readers devouring lines like, vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the breach waiting to be exploited. Reviews pour in, felt seen, karma blueprint. They feel the burn without knowing the spark. Sophia? Crickets, total radio silence. Last mutual ping from a faded connection. She's vanished from the grid, isolated echo chamber, jobless drift, replaying her empire's crumble in some nondescript flat on the outskirts. Ryan? Bounced to Chicago for a lateral gig, but scuttlebutt says he's slipping, another misunderstanding brewing. Karma doesn't sprint, it stalks, devours slow and thorough. Look, 2025's no joke, it's a goddamn minefield out there. Data breaches hitting headlines weekly, exes armed with grudges and God mode hacks. One slip from your DMs turning into doomsday. Protect your secrets like they're state treasures, yeah? Two-factor everything, audit your digital shadow, trust no cloud blindly. But if they strike anyway, if the blade drops, don't swing wild. Hit back smart. Surgical. Quiet as the shadow slipping the knife. Let them architect their own crumble, watch the dominoes dance under their weight. That's the real win, not destruction, but rebirth on your terms. If this tale hit you square in the chest, drop a comment below. Ever plotted that perfect payback and watched it land? Spill, anonymously if you must. Smash like if karma's your spirit animal. Subscribe for the weekly drip of tales where the wronged rise and the wicked fall.